All right, folks, here's what you need to know. This is about the third time I've recorded the same video, but it ate the other content, so you guys get the much practice version. What this is about history class. And history class here is kind of a mix. It's a mix between online, hybrid, and some seated classes this semester. So what I'm doing is I am posting an intro video. Because all the classes, regardless of what number or how the format is, it's going to be posted in Moodle. So all the assignments are posted in Moodle, all due dates are in Moodle. Everything will be submitted via Moodle, because that makes life a little bit easier for both of us, because all you literally have to do is click on the class. You can pull up the assignments and see when everything is due, what I expect you to read, and all that neat kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull up the first course here. I'm just going to go ahead and do one, so you got to look at how it is laid out. So I'm going to pull up the American 1, but whether you're American 1 or World Civ 1 or American 2, it's not going to matter. The format's going to be pretty much the same. It's going to open up into this first page here in the beginning. The thing is you won't have complete access to the course until you do the syllabus quiz. What you do have access to is the announcements. I expect you to look at your announcements on a regular basis. Look at your student email on a regular basis, because that is how I will communicate with you. So look at the announcement, go ahead, and they offer some online tutoring here, both through our center and through some other things. The syllabus quiz here is what you need. Where you can take the syllabus quiz, you're going to want to come down here and click on the syllabus. If you come down here and click on the syllabus, it will tell you almost everything about this class, what the grading system is, when the due dates are, how it is broken up by assignment, what I expect you to do in the way of assignments. So definitely go ahead and look at that and come by here and take the syllabus quiz. The syllabus quiz has a whopping 5 questions. You should be able to pass that relatively easily. The only other interesting thing here is going to be that I have a virtual office. It's not open quite yet, but it will be as the semester goes on. So whether we're on campus or off, you'll still be able to have meetings with me. Once you have looked at all of this and passed the syllabus quiz, I suggest you go on to the next line. Here's what is really important. Over here on the left-hand side, it shows you that we're broken into 7 different units. It shows you the midterm, it shows you the final, it shows you what the sequence of dates are, or is, pardon me. Take a look at that, and among those you're going to find a tab that says answers to questions you didn't know you had. This is guidance for the class. It gives you here, under some things you need to know and remember for a successful semester, some hints on better ways to attack this class. Right here with the assignment explanations. I'm always getting assignment questions about, well, what is it you want me to do? What are you expecting? Well, boom, you click on that. It tells you everything that I'm expecting. Every unit is going to have assigned readings. Every unit is going to have learning objectives. If you look at the learning objectives, folks, I've lifted them straight from the book. That's what the people who wrote the text think you should get from that particular unit or from that particular chapter. So if you look at it first, then you're doing informed, you're doing directed reading. Also, you see that there's a spot of study guides. I've gone through and created study guides. If you fill them out as you do the reading, again, you're doing directed reading. You're working with intent, and if you are reading with intent, then you're going to comprehend better. You're also going to recall better, which means you're going to do better in the class. Also, it's got a spot for document reviews, a little explanation of forum discussions, because I expect you to have some kind of discourse between other members of the class itself along the way. You'll see that I've got set up for unit quizzes. I don't think we're going to be on campus enough to waste time taking seated exams in the class. So the quizzes will be via Moodle at this particular point, and you'll have more than one attempt at them, so that's a good thing. You'll see that there's a midterm and there's a final, but there's also a research paper. I'm going to expect you to look at the parameters for the research paper and have a pretty good idea of what it is you want to approach and how to approach it. Well, again, that's the assignment explanations. It's got a sample, annotated bibliography. It's got some notes on better writing. It's also got a link to the Writing Center, which is huge down here. If you go ahead and just come up here to unit number 1, it lays it out. So if you were doing American 1 history at this particular point, or if you're doing World Civ 1, you're going to start off with the ascent of man, the rise of man, the change of man over time. Well, it's pretty important stuff. So it's got the guide. The guide for each chapter or each unit tells you what's going to be due and how to approach it. So look at that. The reading is got laid out with the core objectives. Again, I've lifted them straight from the book, so it's important to know them. Here's the study guide. Study guide is relatively simple. If you click on it, boom, you can either A, print it out, or B, just go ahead and pull it up in this form. My suggestion is to print it out, but if you're a digital person, pull it up on your screen, and as you do the reading, follow along and fill out the terms, because if you define the terms as you go, you will remember better. What I've done is I have looked at what the book has, I've looked at what's inside my brain and said, oh, boom, let's put some stuff together so these folks understand better. Okay, you will see that there is a study guide for each particular one. Now here's the thing. If you complete the study guide, then you can use it as a guide when you're doing the quiz. Literally, you can have it open in your lap when you're taking the quiz. Why? Because I want you to do better on the quiz. If you can find the information in your study guide during the quiz, then you're going to do better, and you've earned that. If you come down here, you will see that I've been busy. Over the last few months, I have recorded some short lectures. Okay, I've got them posted in YouTube. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Why? Because it kind of requires it at this point. The lectures are about 10 minutes each. Yes, I know there are a whole bunch of lectures, but hey, you talk about the ascent of man in less than 10 minutes, and you're going to find out you can't do it either. What I've done is I have done little snippets of information from different parts of each chapter to try to help piece things together and to set up that dynamic. Here for American History 1, there's an awful lot to set up just to get American history going. So take a look at those. Are they required? No. They're not required, but if you're signed up for a seated class and you're not actually in class, well, this is the difference between the two. This is the talking head, the lecture person that's going to explain that. So I suggest you look at them. If you get a little bit farther in here, you will see that I've got an introduction to primary document reviews. It talks a little bit about Christopher Columbus, so it sets a dynamic of what I want you to look at. Well, of course, there's a primary document review. Every chapter, every unit's got one. Here's the actual primary document itself and a discussion forum. I'm going to want everyone to look at the prompt and make a post. You make a post to the main prompt, and then you take and you see what other people have written, and you respond to at least 2 of them. The term paper project comes up here. You're going to have to go ahead and choose 2 topics, a primary and a secondary, and get them handed in. You're going to want to give me a paragraph, a short 4 or 5 sentences on how you plan to approach either one, and then your first quiz is here. Here's my suggestion. You go ahead and you take a look at this information. All right, you get comfortable with this information. You know what it is that you have questions about, and then you feel free to ask me some of those things if you need to, all right? And then I'll look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much, and take care.